So the next one, keep her guessing. So I'm totally on board with that. You know, I talk about contrast all the time, like in versus out of the bedroom, and just like that the unalignment is what keeps like things interesting and polarity. Yeah. Can you explain that from your perspective?
Imagination is the best tool in any guy's game.
I love it what you say about that. Like women live in their imaginations. We need to fill in the gap with fantasy.
That's why I tell guys, like when you're, now this isn't red pill, this is just me best practices, is to be a mystery, or to be, to reward women with little bits and pieces of yourself. Okay. So you don't want to, most guys who don't fuck, they think that they're uncomfortable with the seduction phase. They want to skip everything, the uncomfortable arousal and like, oh, she's giving me eyes and stuff. They want to skip that and move right into rapport and comfort, because they think that that's where the sex is, because they've only ever heard women say, well, I have to be comfortable with you to have sex. Okay, well, we've got to get right to the comfort as quick as we possibly can, right? And what happens is, in doing so and getting there, you leave nothing left to the imagination. And there's nothing better. Like I always say this, like, don't deny a woman the pleasure of trying to figure you out with her or female intuition, right? Because if you can leave a date and she goes back to her girlfriends and says, I can't figure this guy out. Can you help me? Like it's that
what
intrigue. It's that intrigue. Because women, like, there's a reason why the Bachelor is in its 30th season right now, because it plays into that. Well, is he really good for her? He's not really good for her. Blah blah blah. You know, like there's this. Women want to talk about like whether that guy really is who he says he is, and that's really I call it the hypergamous filter. It's really female intuition, is what it is. Is trying to figure that guy out based on her female intuition, and if you keep her guessing, you're keeping her you're giving her pleasure in the sense that she's trying to figure you out. And it's like reading a mystery novel, right? Or a true crime thing. That's why women love like mysteries and murder mystery, CSI and shit, like whodunit kind of stuff. It's because it stimulates that need to figure out whether this guy is who he says. And that's evolutionarily like practical if you think about it, because in our evolutionary past, women had to figure out whether this guy was going to stick around or he was just going to ejaculate and evacuate, right? He was just going to be fuck you and leave, right? And even when a woman made a good decision with a good guy, there's still the possibility of that guy getting killed in warfare or died on a hunt or whatever, you know, hunter-gatherer societies and stuff like that. But it was so important, evolutionarily speaking and reproductively speaking, that a woman figure out if a guy is real or if he's not for real, that it was a matter of life or death. And so that's why things like The Bachelor are so stimulating for women, or whodunit kind of thing, or like, what was it, Cheaters? You know, that show Cheaters, or, you know, or these confessions on like Maury Povich or Dr. Phil. He gets some like incorrigible PUA, goes, okay, ladies, you're right, you caught me. I'm really a softie and a nice guy kind of thing. I knew it. You know, that I knew it. That's the climax of trying to figure out whether that guy really who he is or he wasn't. That's why women shit test men. Because they're, especially in the early phases, because they're trying to figure out, is this guy really who he says he is? And if you say, yes, here it is, this is me, like in no uncertain terms, and you leave nothing left to the imagination, she's okay, I'm bored with this guy. It's like, I need a new toy. You know, because he's not giving me that magic anymore.
Women want to be, they say they want to be the all-knowing, but they just want to be the all-known. Now, it's hard and confusing for me because of what I do and what I have done in my past. I tend to just be the all-knowing and never the all-known. You know what I mean? It's like like men would tell me things they would never tell anyone else. And like I'm still a confessional for even these stoic men, because that's what I do as a job now. And that's what I did for a job also in my other job, you know? So that's where it's like, it's complex. Like that's why I'm still single probably. Because I'm like, I know too much. I know too much, you know?
Well, I get that too. It's like Rollo, you've been doing this for so long, you know, like how do you deal with these chicks? You know, like fucking like Aaron Clary hates our show. Like if I bring him on this show, he's just like, I don't know how you have the patience for this. You know, like, and I'm like, because it's what I do. And, you know, like people will say like, well, Rollo, you know all the games that these girls are playing, and yet you still play along with it. I go, that's why. That's why I play along with it. Like when Mike and I talk about like astrology or tarot cards or like, you know, power crystal, Brazilian power crystals. when we talk about that kind of stuff, like Mike's the kind of guy who's like, no, there's no scientific basis to astrology. It's all bullshit, and it's like, what is it? The law of attraction and cosmic juju into the universe. And it's all bullshit. And I'm like, dude, that all you're doing is just killing the vibe, man. If you just lean into it and you go, oh, really? Tell me more. That's why I have this. That's why I do one of these things every time. I'm like, okay.
Well, because here's the thing, you don't have to believe in astrology. Obviously, like pretty much all men don't. But if you allow me to, if you play into it with me, then what does that signal to me? That you're like interested, you're taking my bid, you're willing to you let me use my imagination.
Women do not want to be told that they are playing a game. They want you to be a superior player of the game. They want you to play. I tell my guys in all my books this. I said, play with her and play with her, right? Play with her and play with her, right? So do I know that astrology is bullshit? Do I know that the Brazilian power crystal, it's not recharged? Do I know that that's like, or energy or vibes? Do I know that that's bullshit? Or it's just like terms for dynamics that women don't understand. Like when we talk about when we don't understand a certain technology, like I'm sure you probably, I think it was is it Arthur C. Clarke. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Okay, so if women don't understand why they're attracted to some guy, they call it vibes. It's magic. We just feel it, Don't you know what vibes are? Yes, I do. I know, scientifically what those are. But I'm going to tell you it's vibes anyways, because I'm playing with you, because I'm playing into, he does get me. He's so perceptive. No, I'm not perceptive. I'm just playing your fucking game with you on your terms, because I'm a better player of the game, because I know I know that the Wizard of Oz is actually behind the curtain over here, and I understand how the game is played, but I'm going to play in front of the curtain with you, because I know that it's much more fun, it's much more enjoyable, and that's how women communicate, is through playing that game and the emotional, the back and forth. So when the guys will hit me up and they'll go, Rollo, I can't believe you tolerate this bitch when it comes to astrology and stuff like that, and I go, because do you not think that I know all the shit that's going on behind the, behind the scenes? Would you honestly think that? I know.
And do you think getting angry is going to get you more chicks too?
I actually learned this dynamic because I was on Fresh and Fit, and one of the first shows I did was with this guy Hotep Jesus, and he's a really good friend of mine, black guy, and he knows all the same shit that I know, right? And so when we're on Fresh and Fit and we're surrounded by these girls, he starts vibing with them. I'm just vibing with them, right? He knows the mechanics of it, but he's still going to play and speak the language and do everything else. And now, is he being disingenuous because he's doing that? No, I think he's being more genuine because he now understands how to get from point A to point B. He's playing with the girl, and there's a reason why you're doing that. But if then they'll ask me, well, what's going on here, Rollo? What's the dynamics? And I'm Mr. Wizard, and I'm the guy who explains the game. If I go, okay, you're giving me a shit test right now, and I can respond with A, B, C, or D. Like, I'm Mr. Excel spreadsheet guy, because I've got it all down to rote memorization. Or if I tell you, the reason you're attracted to me right now is because I have broad shoulders and I have a six-pack abs, and evolutionarily speaking, I was a good bet for fucking at that time because I could take down woolly mammoths. And if I go and I tell you, exactly, you know what you want to do? You don't know why, but you want to punch me in the face. Because I'm not playing the game with you. I'm explaining the game.
I remember saying to the kid, the 25-year-old, and I wrote about this. I was like, it's like I'd known him for centuries and also not at all. And I said that to him, and he was like, I know, right? He totally, I'm like, for a 25-year-old, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. And I even know he's not, you know what I mean? I'm even aware that this, he's intelligent enough to not believe what I'm telling myself, but he still gets the game. Exactly.
Well, there's a concept, it's actually a practical, and it's called amused mastery. So I use it especially when it comes to astrology and stuff like that. It's the woman wants to tell you something. You go, oh, really? Tell me, tell me something that I don't, right? And you're just kind of like, but it's like you've seen it all. Like when my daughter was 7 years old, she'd do the same thing. So, Daddy, did you know the dinosaurs did X, Y, and Z or something? Oh, really? You know, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
but you're like, really?
Yeah.
And so you carry on the
Yeah,
conversation.
and does that mean that
Women
you don't love your daughter? No, does that
love
mean that you're not interested? You know,
Am
it's just
am I
me
manipulating
your
son
daughter?
of a bitch?
Exactly.
Yes.
You're about because you're lying about Santa Claus or not, like,
Yeah.
telling her the
Or
truth
she
about
learned
Santa Claus.
something new at school. She she desperately wants to tell you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like I learned this 90 years ago,
Yeah.
but okay,
Yeah.
tell me all about it kind of
Yeah.
thing. That attitude of, if you can carry that over into your relationships with like women, where you don't have to be a condescending prick about it.
Yeah.
You just have to be like, oh, really?
Endearing. Yeah.
Tell me more about this astrology. I did this one time. I forget the name. I think one of these black chicks that was on our show one time, she looks at me, she goes, you really need to have your chakras aligned. And I'm like, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do I do? And so she's like, she comes up to me and she starts feeling on me and feeling my chest. And now, like wherever the chakra points are, I have no fucking idea.
And all of a sudden you're getting a prostate massage.
I know. And she's just like loving on me. And like, I'll give you, I'm like, I like this shit. Yeah, please. Yeah. As soon as she comes through the next one, I'm like, can I get my chakras?
Yeah. That chakra thing you did.
I know
really...
I know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play the game because it's better. It leaves a better taste in her mouth instead of me going, well, chakras are bullshit, and the reason why you're doing this is because you really just want to fill me up, or that kind of stuff. If I say something like that, then it's like breaking character.
Yeah.
Have you been to a Renaissance fair and everybody's like, how are the fine wenchly maiden?
Yeah.
Like they're always in character, right? But the minute they go, hey man, you look pretty good. Can I get your number? Like if they break character, that's essentially the same dynamic. Like it's all bullshit, but you're playing along. You're playing a role, whether it's cosplay or you're at the Renaissance fair or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
You breaking character is not a good thing, and
it's also no fun.
Later on, when you have a relationship and you can get something that's more meaningful, then the dynamic changes a little bit more because now you know each other. And it's like, you wake up in the morning, you smell each other's breath.
Yeah, fuck your star sign.
Yeah, what's your... you know what the guy's farts smell like.
Yeah.
And so, all the pretentious bullshit kind of falls away.
Yeah.
But then there's another game that you play once you get into a relationship that you still want to be playful and you still want to, like one of the things with my wife right now is she knows what I do, right? So we fuck around with it. Like we're playing a game, but we're just playing a different kind of game, like in a relationship than you would when you're just like first start dating and you like getting shit tests and like, is this guy really who he says he is? None of that applies after 29 years of marriage, right? You know who I am. But there's still kind of, if you just keep a little bit of guessing. My wife says, I trust you 95%.
Yeah.
It's the 5%.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
That's where the game is and that's where the fun is.
Well, my parents have been together for 42 years. My dad's a touring musician, and that's why they're still together. And they both say like the reason it works is because A, he was away a lot, but B, and I really believe he's never cheated on my mom. Like I would bet my life on that. It's just I've seen him around a lot of tempting situations, but like they're so different, and that cultivates this mystery, and that's what keeps it interesting for them. They still bicker. If you're in indifference, that's when you're fucked. The opposite of like love isn't hate, it's indifference, right? So like I've seen that work firsthand.